What's up, YouTube? One Piece chapter 1042. I'm stumped. I got nothing. I can't believe that happened. I really can't. I want to, you know what? I want to get through this. Again, the same format as last week. I feel like going through the chapter, pages at a time, is the best way for me to break things down with my opinion and where I think the chapter is going, where I think Oda's trying to take the story. So let's just get straight to this. First page. I'm glad I called it. Drake doing the samurai sword, to the back of the head. Well, not back of the head, to the back of the... I was going to say through the heart, really. But after what he did, I don't think his heart was stabbed. I don't think even in the world of One Piece, if you get stabbed through the heart, I don't think you can survive. I don't think... Maybe some devil fruit users might. But yeah, I don't think even in world of One Piece you can survive being stabbed through the heart. But what I found the most interesting about the first two pages for me was that the CP member said that he was jealous or he was envious of Drake. What did he mean by that? His response was to Drake's telling the CPO member that this is his justice by trying to stop CPO from doing what they're planning to do. And he said he's envious. Is it because he's envious because he has no choice but to do the Gorosei and the war government's bidding? Is it that he knows it's futile for him to try to resist and that, they punish him for it? Or is it that he literally has to do what the CPO tells him? Because when you think about it, he was quite opposed to doing what he does later in the chapter. Well, if you're watching this video, then you've already read the chapter and you know that he interfered. I was going to say intervened, but that's not how it goes. Intervene is more like when he actually has the power to intervene in the fight. He doesn't. When he interfered in Luffy and Kaido's fight. So, to me, it feels like, what if I'm not going to say all, but what if some CP0 members or Cypherpole members in general, doesn't matter what team of Cypherpole you're from, what if they can't resist? What if they, the same way as Tama orders the animals around, what if CPO members cannot resist edicts given to them? Because I kind of found it interesting that they use the word edict instead of an order. So maybe it's like some sort of devil fruit power or something tied in with CP members, that when an edict is issued by the Gorosei, the CP members cannot resist and they have to carry out what is asked of them, even if it's going to get them killed. Because we all know, I'm going to leave this till we get to the last bit, but we all know Kaido's not going to let that go. More on that later. And then, obviously, we go back to the Flower Capital. I feel like it's been 2-3 chapters. We haven't seen nothing from Flower Capital. That was nice, seeing how things are going there. People are still celebrating. And it's an interesting idea with the Lantern Festival, which is like them paying homage, tribute to the dead. So is it gonna, we also saw an incarnation of Death standing over Zoro a few chapters back. So is this some form of hint that, like, due to the festival, maybe there's a bit of a connection with the afterlife? Are we gonna get to see maybe some form of, the Ghost Force from Star Wars? Are we going to see some form of ghosts maybe interacting with some of the characters? I like it. I think it might be possible. Again, that one wasn't by me. I read that on Reddit. So, yeah, guys, if you got the time, check out Reddit, One Piece Reddit. A lot of theories in there, a lot of good discussions in there. And then we get to the rooftop. And Luffy's doing his... I think it's the covering attack, the one where he tosses the arm and the arm keeps bending. Covering. If I'm getting it wrong, I apologize, guys. But I like how Kaido says, how is it like he's surprised that Luffy can bend the trajectory of his attack? Because if you think about it, rubber, when you throw it out, you shouldn't be able to bend it. And I like how nobody picked up on this before. Everybody thought like maybe Luffy is extending his arm and he's in control of it. But then again, even if he's in control of it, he shouldn't be able to make the exact angle turns. He should more like, you know, be curved rather than the actual angle turn of the punch. So, and he's like, and Kaido's saying that given the nature of rubber, that's impossible. Which brings us back to what we've been hearing for the past few chapters. The devil fruit had its name changed, so they made it look more like something that's similar. And if we take this one attack into consideration, it makes sense why maybe the Gorosei were scared that the user is activating the devil fruit and they're about to awaken. Because Luffy hasn't done any kind of attack like this before, to my knowledge. Again, guys, if I am wrong about this, drop a comment. I would love to check out any fact that might be like go against what I'm trying to say. So always drop those in comment. I enjoy those. But back to the topic at hand, we haven't seen Luffy really alter the trajectory of his attacks. So does that mean that it's because he's getting closer to awakening, and that's why the Gorosei said what they said, and we got the whole idea about Luffy's devil fruit name having been changed? I feel like this kind of makes it a stronger case that the devil fruit was Luffy's, and that's what they're trying to avoid, the awakening, which would kind of be ironic if the CP0's interference in Luffy and Kaido's fight, which now caused Luffy taking that attack with no defense whatsoever, if that interference might be what's gonna cause Luffy to awaken his devil fruit. Again, because we don't know what's gonna come when you awaken the devil fruit. Is it gonna be like in a video game, you know, when you level up your character sometimes, your depleted mana, your HP that might be you near death, the moment you level up, you're back to max HP, you're back to full mana, and you can keep fighting. Is that what's gonna be like with an awakening? Like, is Luffy gonna then... I don't see Oda taking it that way, if I'm being honest. But then again, it could be. For me, it feels more like maybe Marco might make an appearance. Because from what I saw near the end, and I'm keep jumping ahead because that ending for me was just... I was not expecting that. I really wasn't. And I feel like... when I was reading, I had my hand here. I was like, oh my god. Did it happen? Is this what happened? I just couldn't believe it. But you know what? I'm going to try to keep myself focused on going through the pages. Not love, but I do like Kaido's phases. To me, it felt more like that Drunken Master movie from Jackie Chan, where the more he drank, the more drunk he got, the more different his techniques became. And to me, it feels like with Kaido's drunk stages, it's like he's changing up maybe his fighting style by a tiny bit, which it makes sense why it would be a good technique for him, because when you're at that level, the tiniest change to the fight style could throw the opponent off. So to me, I like where this drunken bit's going, and feel like, again, as always, I've always, like in a lot of my reviews, you probably will hear me say this, but One Piece's art is clean. Like the chapter's art is so beautifully drawn. And I feel like in anime, this is gonna look amazing. And then we get to see the whole thing. Luffy's, you know, putting in the hurt. He gets eaten by Kaido. I won't lie, when Kaido ate him, I wasn't expecting him to just, you know, spit him back out straight and just hit him with a breath attack, like a dragon breath attack. But I'm glad that happened, because what I had in my mind, where I saw for a moment, I mean, it was only one page, but, you know, in that one page, your mind races off to all over the place. You're like, ooh, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna try to digest Luffy? Is he gonna, like... because, again, we don't know. When he's in his dragon form, does he have all of a dragon's organs and stuff, is what I'm trying to say. Not that we know anything about dragonology or dragon organs, but... I mean, it would have been nice maybe if, like, Kaido, a dragon, would eat something. He might have the power to dissolve it faster or something like that. But that's not where it went. And I'm kind of glad we got another breath attack, because I feel like that breath attack kind of gave us a beam through Onigashima. We saw Yamato, you know, a little bit of a tiny catch-up. Yamato has to dodge. So that kind of shows as well that Yamato's nowhere near Kaido's level. I mean, Yamato is strong from what we've seen. We know she's strong, but I don't think she's Kaido, even Luffy's level. Because from what I've seen, Luffy can hold his own, but I don't think Luffy is at Kaido's level yet. With all the gears and power and armor and everything, but you need to remember, Kaido could stand still and eat some of Luffy's attacks without anything, without it looking like he took major damage. And then we see Onigashima after that hit, the breath going through it. Honestly, I said it before, it looks like Onigashima is just growing smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes further. And I feel like that attack might have just damaged the whole structure of the whole island. I feel like maybe by the end of this, we might not have another Onigashima or whatever the island was called before. I would love it if we could get a name, because Izo mentioned for a moment there, I was drawing blank on Izo's name. For a moment there, I remember that Izo did say, so that's what they call it now. I would love to get the previous name of the island if possible. If we're gonna get it, if it's gonna have any major meaning. And then I love how Luffy immediately changes to Bounce Man. When I saw that and I saw Luffy's falling, I'm like, oh wait, Luffy can fly in that other mode. And then he immediately did the Bounce Man, so that was really nice. And then again, I'm glad we got the confirmation here, because a lot of people last chapter were saying when Luffy said this is my final Gear 4 that, oh, is we gonna get Gear 5 or Awakening? But I said, to me that sounded like that's like he's gonna be out of strength by the end. And I love that Oda kind of confirmed it here. He's like, there's no time to waste. Losing is not an option. So he's gonna be done after this Gear 4. He's not gonna have anything unless the Awakening is gonna be, healing him, the way I said, like in a video game. But again, we don't know. We haven't seen anybody awaken. Like, we've seen awakened people, but we haven't seen the process of them awakening, and we haven't really been given enough information. And then I love how Luffy, he comments, his only concern is that the Wano people can't drink clean water, eat enough food, so that's why he's fighting. And I respect that. Like, that's his standard. Luffy always likes to eat, likes to drink good drinks, eat good food, and he wants to share that with other people. And although, well, that doesn't really make him technically a hero in a sense, because he's not going out of his way to do it. He was already coming here to do it. It's nice to see that, like, Luffy's still the same old Luffy. He's that pirate that still cares about the people around him. He's not like all the other pirates, which I feel like maybe that's why Joy Boy was also like. I mean, from his name, Joy Boy. Somebody who was always, joyful and being nice to everybody. Is there hidden meaning in the name? We don't know. But I would like it I would love it if we get more Joy Boy content before the end of this arc. And with the way it ended, I feel like we are gonna get that. We're gonna get a flashback. Let me have a quick look at like all the stuff. There's so much stuff I want to talk about. I made the bullet points here. I don't want to miss anything, guys. So yeah, I've talked about all of that. That bit's for the end. Yeah, there was a possibility Act 4. A lot of people were mentioning with the way it ended. I don't see it happening. Again, I'm off topic. I haven't even gone through all the pages. I mean, we saw, Kaido saying the samurais are defeated, they're weak, and Luffy's like, shut up, they're strong. And Luffy wasn't happy. And then we got like the chapter title, and I love that. The Victor Need No Epithet or Epithet. Like, yeah, the Victor they don't need to justify it. They're just strong, and I like that. And then we got the over Kongon here, which in the other translation, I do read this scanlation version, guys. I just can't wait. In the scanlation translation, it was called Supreme Kongon, which again, I did say a few chapters back that one of the panels with Luffy made him look like a bit of a monkey king. So a reference there. We don't know. And then we saw that again, like there was one page with the Thunder Bagua where Kaido did the Thunder Bagua. It looked like the first time that Luffy took on Kaido, where Luffy got stomped, with Kaido just instantly going past him, with the Shishi Sun Sun kind of style of fight where you move past your opponent and then the damage takes place. kind of cool. I think it's gonna look really nice in the anime. I'm probably gonna start watching the anime again as well, just so you know. I mean, yeah, just so I can be up to date with the way the anime is as well, and where it is on the manga as well. And then we see Luffy, you know, when Luffy takes the Bagua, he starts, you know, the air starts to escape, but he stops him. He's like, "Don't leave yet," and you know, "Don't leave me yet." Strength. So that's like his strength leaving in a way, and I like that. He knows if he leaves, he's done, and he's again up. He manages to like hold it in. I feel like that might be what gonna trigger the awakening by him constantly trying to stay in his strongest form. And then he's gambling it all, you know, like when you see in so many movies or so many animes and games and stuff where everything comes down to that one final hit. Both sides is gambling it all on that one hit, and that's what Luffy was doing. And you can see Kaido with, you know, his mouth is open, he's smiling, he's enjoying this fight. And then we get to see the CP member jumping in and holding Luffy. And Luffy's like, huh? And CP member obviously using Iron Body. He wants, because I don't think CP member that Iron Body could hold onto Luffy. And Kaido's like, CPO. And then we get the flashback. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about here. I want to say it's not a PTSD, but it's a form of a PTSD where repeatedly, when he's getting good fights, when he's come close to almost being defeated in a way, because let's not forget, when Kaido was introduced, they said he's a man who's been looking for a place to die. He commented on how he kind of, in a sense, looked up to Whitebeard, because to him, dying is such a hard thing to do, that he was admiring that Whitebeard managed to pull it off. And then he gets the flashback. I believe that was Higurashi that intervened, that made himself look like Momo, distracted Oden, whereas Oden looked like he might be able to defeat Kaido at that point. And then now, again, same thing happens here. CPO jumps in and stops Luffy from doing his final attack to trade with Kaido, so Kaido gets to land his attack without receiving the other attack that's coming his way. And then it's on the left, on the last 3 panel on the left, Kaido's eyes, to me, that looks like he's about to fuck up the CP member. I'll be surprised if this CP member walks out of here alive. I really will be, because to me, if I was Kaido, we don't know his motives, we don't know anything about that, but to me, if I was Kaido and the way he's been shown to enjoy battle, and twice now, for a second time, someone stops a fight that you have had so much fun in, that guy's gonna die. There's no, I really cannot see Kaido not doing anything to this CP0 member. And then at the end, what we've seen from Luffy on this panel here is, it's not like the page before, where it's the air and the strength leaving Luffy. It's like Luffy took the hit. And then obviously the CP0 member, from the looks of it, he's taken some damage as well, because if you look at on the double spread, on the big middle panel, where Luffy's just you know, eating that hit from the top, you can see the CP member's left arm, he's holding his right, and his right arm looks a bit bent, like as if he took that hit, a part of that hit from Kaido, to make sure he fully stops Luffy from doing anything. And as I was saying, I think it would be ironic if what he's done here is going to be the trigger of Luffy's awakening. And then obviously, I looked here, the possibility of an Act 4, because if Luffy does get defeated here and it's a failed raid, I don't see them leaving Wano until everything is resolved. I don't see like the Straw Hats leaving Wano, the whole story leaving Wano arc, until it's resolved. If we are gonna get, in my previous video, before I say if we're gonna get an Act 4, in my previous video I did say that I feel like Oda is following the 3-act structure of, you know, writing books. But if he's not, and we are gonna get an Act 4, I really hope we get like a gap in the middle, like maybe like something to, like, you know, Because we've been in Wano for a while now. Like, maybe give us something like, okay, this is what's happening everywhere else while we've been on these 3 acts. What happened after the news about what happened with the Alabasta Kingdom? I would love it if we get something about that. What happened with Sabo, which is definitely related to what happened with the Alabasta Kingdom news. What happened with Dragon, because let's not forget, they also had that run-in with Blackbeard pirates. They ran away. And then they just left it there. And of course, we got the confirmation that they're okay because they were surprised at what the news about Sabo. But again, I would love to maybe even get some sort of more info on what happened with Whitebeard, Blackbeard, and Dragon. And then what? We also still got a lot more news. What happened with the Shichibukais? Buggy looked like he was about to fight. Well, some of his men were about to fight while he was going to run away. Boa Hancock was about to fight. Mihawk was about to fight. Weevil was about to fight. These were all good fights. These were all fights that I would love it if they take place on manga and in anime. And I would kind of hate it truly for them to be off-screen fights, because you always get those off-screen fights. For example, another off-screen fight for me that I would have loved if we would have seen was when Whitebeard was moving to go to Marineford for the war. I believe it was Vice Admiral Momonga who got the news that apparently Shanks stopped Kaido from stopping Whitebeard. I mean, it might have been a tiny skirmish, but there was definitely Clash of Conquerors hackies involved, and maybe, you know, a little bit of fight. I would love to see it, even if it's just going to be, you know, a few panels. That would have been an amazing and interesting thing to look at, purely because we haven't seen anything from Shanks. That was probably one of the very first time where we heard Shanks had fought someone. Besides his one clash with Whitebeard, but then again, that wasn't a real clash. They weren't really going at it. It was just Whitebeard trying to say, you know what, I'm sending Ace, and, you know, trying to take responsibility for what Ace is doing. But I feel overall, back to this chapter, it was such a good chapter. Again, Drake doing the samurai sword slash to the back of the chest. Drunken Master. Luffy being defeated here. That, I feel like that is the biggest question. Is he out? Is he gonna be able to fight? Is he gonna awaken? But if he is gonna be out here, I think something else is gonna give. Somebody else is gotta have to show up, because I honestly can't see an Act 4. If there is an Act 4, I'm gonna read it still weekly. Let's not kid ourselves about that. We're not giving up One Piece. No way. But I am gonna be a bit, I'm not gonna lie, it feels like it's dragged on for such a long time now. And it's only Wano, and I get it. They said we're near the end of the story as well. We are getting into the end game, into the late stages of the story. But we've only seen, like, what, 3 or 4 islands in the New World. And New World should have a lot more islands. We got Elbaf we haven't seen. We still haven't seen anything to do with Weevil. If we just want to run down through the things, I think we got an arc for the Giants. We should get one. We should get an arc for Edward Weevil, or him versus the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates. Maybe even if we get them as like a few chapters. We gotta get something with the revolutionaries. We haven't had anything with Shanks yet, so I feel like every emperor would deserve their own arc. Even if we feel like Shanks might be, even if they're all same strength in strength wise, I feel like every emperor does deserve their own. So there's Shanks, there's Blackbeard, and then what else we got? We got the world government bit going on. Then we got Laughtale itself. That's like, at the minimum to me, there's still 6 more arcs should be left in One Piece. Unless some of those are gonna get merged together, like the giant arc. Big Mom is still not done. She's here. She's defeated, but she's not dead. And I do believe she returns, so that's almost 7 arcs. And on that note, I'm just gonna leave it there. Please, guys, do leave a comment. Let me know what you think about how many more arcs you think we still gonna have left. To me, I feel like we have enough mystery and everything else left that we could get another solid 1,000 chapters. I wouldn't complain. I would enjoy it, mate. For another 20 years, keep it coming. But I don't see Oda dragging it out. So yeah, guys, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Luffy's done. Let me know if you think Luffy's gonna do Awakening, or if somebody else you think is gonna show up to put a stop to this, or show up to just, pull up on Kaido. Is Kaido gonna kill the CPO member? I hope you guys enjoyed this chapter as much as I have. I truly hope we get a chapter next week. I will not be able to wait 2 weeks for a chapter. I hope I see you guys in my reaction to the next chapter, and I hope I see a lot of comments from you guys. As always, guys, take care.